This was a Spanish movie that recently dropped on
became a
Netflix. And
Chilean movie.
was it Chilean? I thought it
It
was
was a Chilean
Spanish.
movie. It was a
Oh,
Chilean. Listen,
ah,
no, come
ah.
on. You know the guy's name.
Exactly. Yes. Well, so
Uh,
it's about an old vampire
no,
who's lived about
well,
240 years, and his name is
okay.
Augusto Pinochet.
You are
It's
you are
quite a
mi-
history.
you are missing you're missing something because
What am I missing?
Pinochet Pinochet
Oh,
Pinochet was also a lead was the leader of Chile. It's
ah.
actually this he actually was it's taken off of an actual person.
Well, there were some other actual people that were in here.
Well, I know. Some several of them came up. I mean, didn't he talked about George Bush at some point, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he mentioned 9/11,
Yeah, yeah,
Osama bin Laden. Margaret Thatcher came up at one point.
right.
I don't
Yeah,
want to ruin
no.
that part.
Pinochet was supposed to have been one of the most ruthless dictators of Chile for years
Well,
and
see, I didn't know
years.
that, so this is good. I'm learning something.
No, historically, it's funny because when they said Pinochet at the very beginning, I was like, wait a minute, and then I had to look him up.
That's
Then I
a
had to
real
go,
person.
yeah, no, I remember this guy. As being uh, and he's like the guy who's running Brazil right now. He was a total asshole and a jerk, but he made it so that he couldn't be gotten rid of, right?
Oh, now we're banned in Brazil.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, no, actually, what's cool about this is that I've always thought there's been a trend where you have like Nazis being vampires, so it
Right.
makes
Why
perfect
not?
sense for anybody who's an asshole.
Why not Pinochet, right? Come on.
Exactly. And I like the setting of this because it's like a guy that's kind of at the end of his career and everything's kind of falling apart. And so was the set that he was, the
Oh yeah,
surroundings,
the set and where he is,
the sunken in living room. That was
oh,
amazing.
and the weird building that it's in. That's in this middle of this mystic nowhere.
The only
And
thing that was creepy about those is they were reminiscent of Auschwitz. Like they kind of looked like,
yeah, no,
and
totally intentional. I mean, the whole thing had uh, a very contrived and specific look. I mean, it was kind of base. It was black and white. It the To give you more of a sense of a play, sort of the combination of a play and realism at the same time. It was done in very long shots, very wide angle shots.
you're probably gonna hate this reference, but one of my favorite movies, Wings of Desire. It's
Yeah,
black and white, and
yeah,
it has a lot of sweeping shots, like through the city and stuff of Berlin, and the
right.
angels, and it's a lot of high contrast shots and stuff. This kind of reminded me of that, and this is what I found interesting about this is we were talking about in one of our previous episodes, we're talking about Dead of Night and how like visually certain countries do better than others because they were there during the silent
Oh,
era, so it's all
yeah,
visual,
exactly,
and I think
exactly.
this is a good example of that because it's a beautifully shot. The cinematography is amazing on this.
The cinematography on this and the sense of place. But at the same time, the interesting thing about it is at the same time that the South America, its sense of art, and there's a sense of art that careens through South America that doesn't that Britain has a very refined sense of art, and there's something brutalistic, brutalistic, but super colorful about and it's I know that it's weird that I'm saying super colorful, and it's a black and white
Right.
film, but hear me out. The tones that are in it, you were just imagining how deep and dark, and uh, the imagery of it, the downstairs when you went to the end of the elevator, and there wasn't actually a
Yeah.
set down there. There was just these columns, and you they they would play in
It
that
was a totally different
long.
world down there than it was
Yeah, well,
up above.
and obviously it was shot somewhere else. It looked like it was shot in a sugar plantation or something like that. Something I have some experience with, and just like that wide, long columns, and it's they only dressed a couple of the rooms, uh, but the sense of the nuns in their white
Yes.
habits, for
Oh, that
instance,
was amazing. There's one
just
shot toward the end that was just amazing with them going by.
oh, on the boat and all the rest.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah, and coming in and yeah, I don't want to get into like you
Specifics.
know
You don't want to give it away.
I don't want to give it away.
But
Yeah,
you have to put your European brain on, I think, for this, because if you're watching this from an American standpoint, you want to see Dracula, or you want to see, like the more recent Dracula from '96, that kind of movie. It's
right.
not that kind of movie. This is like a
Well,
biopic almost. It's like a
yeah, but not only is it a biopic, it's
dark
it's
humor for sure.
there's a dark humor to it, and the thing is there's this parallel to a modern world. I mean that, for instance, when the Count is flying around, and by the way, the
Yes.
shots of the Count flying around are astonishing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean I don't know how. I mean it's always like you strung him up and you made him fly and stuff, but whoever designed the outfit,
No, I like how simple they did it. Like it wasn't.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, it was just very
simple
simply done.
and sort of like just a block of black against the
And the
uh,
sound of his cape.
yeah, and the fact that he goes into these modern, this very modern city, and you forget that, uh, yeah, this is a high, an advanced society, and you're like, wow. And then he goes back to his own world with his family and all the rest of this,
Oh, the family. Oh my god.
and all of them are kind of like rehashing the same battles that they've had since the for it feels like since the turn of the century, and then you notice that the look of their place is like has the degradation of that much time to it, right?
Yeah. Well,
Just
plus there
is
were
amazing.
there were some entitled douchebags in there too, for sure.
Oh, and 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 so entitled as to not even know that they're entitled, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no,
I kind of enjoyed the family, but I thought there were too many of them. I mean, that's the only problem I had was there were so many of them when they were all talking at once. I'm like, I don't even know who's talking right now, but it doesn't really
right.
matter. It doesn't matter.
It would, and I think that would have been easier had it been in English, right?
Well,
Because
yeah, yeah, because I was watching subtitles, obviously. But
right,
no, actually, I
right.
did watch it in English. I watched the English dub, but I was still reading the subtitles, which is weird. But
Well, the English dub though, the
it didn't
English
really
dub,
match their voices, their mouths.
the English dub. Now, did you watch the English dub? Because I watched them speaking Spanish, but the voiceover was all in English.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
Okay, so
the mouth
yeah,
didn't
so
really
that's
match, so I ended up kind of reading subtitles more than listening. It's
yeah, that's
weird.
half in English. Yeah.
But the English dub was actually pretty good. I wasn't. I mean, sometimes I hate the dubs, but some of them were done really well. Which I
Yeah, no,
wonder if
no.
some of the cast did it or not. I didn't look that up, but
I thought it
anyway,
was. Yeah, I thought it was pretty. I thought it was. I have to tell you something. I definitely uh, thought to myself that I was watching something uh, that was different and well done.
did you not think it was
Well,
odd though that it started with a lot of gore, like a lot of faces, things happening to faces and blenders and stuff, and then kind of that didn't happen so much later on? Like, I don't know. It
yeah, I
just
did. I did notice that there was a sense that we're going to get over that part, right? I mean, the reality is uh, getting into some of the bookkeeping stuff and so forth. Just like I say, it could have. I always say 20 minutes could have been taken right out of it, and
Yeah.
it would have lacked for nothing.
But she was pretty awesome how she worded things. Like she was, tell me about that. Like just the way she was asking. I mean, the way she was doing it was pretty entertaining. I guess is the word.
And she had an amazing presence.
Yes.
Right?
No, she was awesome. The
Yeah.
nun that was sent there, but
The nun,
the accountant.
the nun was like the representation of the modern church
Yes.
into this decrepit world, you
Well,
know.
I guess that's the point. Maybe that's why there wasn't so much gore later on, because it's like it was toward the end of this vampire. He was struggling with his, being so old. He had a walker, which I've never seen a vampire with a walker. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was awesome.
yeah. It didn't make much sense.
And then his
Really.
wife, who was just like begging her,
Well,
him to,
he had to get a good amount of food going there, and he
Yeah.
did. He got going. He got going. He got his strength back up, and
But I like his wife was actually really one of my favorite characters, just because she was
yes,
so complicated.
complicated. Yeah, that was the other thing about all the characters in this is they were very complicated. I mean the kids were so.
I love the butler, and the lady of the house too. I mean, there were some really disgusting things going on there. But
Yeah, right. No, the butler. Yeah, the butler who is there. Be expecting pulling out of a pig's anus, like sucking the pig out of a pig's anus.
Well, I mean,
I don't say that in jest.
when you're a vampire, I'm sure you get bored. So why not try that?
Why not? Why not?
But for me, the highlight was when we find out the identity of someone who actually, I think, if you really think about it, could possibly have been a creature of the night. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe, and she might still be alive. So maybe it's a good thing we're in the United States and we're not
Yeah.
overseas.
Good thing. Anyway, I highly recommend this film.
This is
It
so
is-
different. I would recommend it too, just because it's different than anything I've ever seen, and I love vampire movies. So this
Yeah,
was
it is. It is got to be one of the edgiest vampire films I've ever seen, and yeah, and the visuals on it are just astounding. I mean, I've never seen color done so well in black and white.
right. No, like I said, contrast plays a really important role in this, because you have the white, outfits on the nuns, and then you
Oh
have
yeah,
the black cape.
yeah. Oh yeah. No. But it's
And the house,
it,
I was blown away by the house. I just love the fact that they had to walk down into the living room.
yeah.
And I was like, what happened there exactly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just enjoyed the living shit out of it. I have to tell you, I really did.
So Hitler might be alive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and or he might be dead and buried out underneath in Chile somewhere.
Maybe. Well, no, it would be Argentina, wouldn't it? 'Cause isn't that where he supposedly ran off to in the
Well,
at the end
yeah,
of the war?
but he stopped by in Chile to visit an old friend, and it didn't go well for him. So I am highly recommending this. I'm giving this a 4.5. I'm saying get out there, check it out. It is really different. It is really entertaining. It'll make you think, and there is there's no lacking for blood.
No. But it's black and white, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, there you go.
I would give it a 4.6, but only a tenth of a point more than you because of the walker, which I thought was a nice touch. When he came into the room,
I'm giving it a 4 or 5 because watching him fly.
oh yeah. Well, there's another flying scene though.
Oh, you mean the flying nun?
Wasn't Sally Field though. No, but yes.
Yeah, not exactly.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
just
surprised
go
at
watch
that.
it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Do it. Do it.
For once, Mick is correct, and you have to watch this one.